Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a Coney dog right now.
Takes, throws, end zone, Calvin, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. I'm Vinny Stubbs, sitting across from me is the King, Jason Jarvi. We got a lot of things to get to. Number one, my wiener. Number two, your guys are Spartans. Number three, my Wolverines. Number four, our Detroit Pistons. Jason the King Jarvi, dude, how are you?
You know, the first thing that I hear from you, you call them your Wolverines. Every other week, you're like, oh, no, I don't care about college football. I don't care about Michigan. They're not my team.
I had no choice.
But just because they won this week, they're your team.
They're my team this week.
You're ridiculous. I can't believe you.
If they decide to lose, then they won't be my team anymore. But as of right now, they're my team. And God bless Jake Rudock. He had a career high in ridiculousness.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. He threw for 337 yards. And he completed... he went 18 for 26, and I'm just so proud of Jake Rudock. He's just a phenomenal human being.
All those stats about Jake Rudock. He's just a wonderful man, and Michigan still isn't that good.
Yes. What? Yes, they are. They're better than your Spartans.
Oh, really? And they beat the Spartans?
What are you talking about?
Did Michigan beat Michigan State?
Nah, but you guys got lucky, and there was karma because of it. And I loved every single
So tell me, why is there karma? Are you going to explain what happened this weekend?
You guys got screwed, A. B, I loved it. And C, I watched it with the doc, Adam Straczynski. The doc.
I bet he loved it. I'm sure. Actually, I do want to know from the doc. Turn up your mic. Did Adam tweet you and text you out loud so everybody could see making fun of the Spartans?
Actually, Adam has been very respectful and humble, and he does not play that kind of game. He is not a troll. The trolling department on the Doc and Jock podcast goes to me.
That's all you.
It's all me. I'm the big troll, but he was very humble and respectful, and he actually said that we got screwed. He was on the webcast.
Very nice.
He was on the webcast with Justin Rose earlier today, and he said Michigan State got screwed, but in the end, he kept it objective. Michigan State should have made several plays to not let that happen. If just the cornerback would make one play in his career, a fifth-year senior can't bring that down? You got to be kidding me. One play. Make the interception, end the game. Screwed up.
And you guys messed up from the get-go.
That's what I'll say.
Allowed 19 points in the fourth
For any
quarter.
of you who are living under a rock, that game, Michigan State, we held the lead going into the fourth quarter, and Nebraska essentially scored 2 touchdowns within 3 minutes, including a touchdown where it looked like he left himself. He left the field of play where he shouldn't have been able to come in and catch it. But because of the rules that the Michigan State player had a hand on him, that is apparently us pushing him out of bounds. It was a really bad call. I think
it was the worst call I've ever seen in college football history.
The fact that they called it out, or that they did call it a touchdown at first, there was nothing that we could do after that. You can't challenge the penalty at that point. So, and it's we've seen this now in the past couple of years where the teams around Detroit and Michigan have been getting screwed by the refs.
That's what I was going to say.
You have this game. You have the Monday Night Football game earlier this year with the batted ball, and then you have the playoff game last year where we get screwed out of a playoff win.
Well, I don't understand why Michigan is always made an example without every rule that you've never heard of before in my life. I'm not even a Spartan fan. In fact, I'm glad you guys lost. But every team in Michigan has to deal with stuff like this, and it's just ridiculous. And what the hell was I going to say before you put that camera on me? You got my skull rattled. Why can't you challenge that? It's so stupid. I bet you they changed that rule. You know what it really is? It's the NCAA wanting Ohio State to win the entire thing.
I don't think they're going to change the rule. I think.
Can you get the damn camera off me, John?
They've brought instant replay in hopes to get stuff right, but they're not getting it right. Until you can challenge pretty much any play, they're never going to get it right, because there's always going to be the rule where you can challenge this, but you can't challenge that. And until they make that change, nothing's going to happen. And I will agree that if Michigan State would have done some stuff right leading up to those last plays, if they didn't give up those
19 points in the fourth quarter,
on top of that, if they didn't give up those 2 long throws in that final drive to let them get down to the final into our red zone essentially in no time at all, our defense it's not doing anything. And then on top of that, Connor Cook has the chance. They march down, and I mean they're not in field goal range. And on that last play, you gotta put that on the play calling. Pretty much all you really need to do is get about 10 yards, and you can do that on a quick slant. Connor Cook is a good enough quarterback. We have good enough receivers to be able to pull off a play like that. But instead, they pretty much send all their receivers downfield. They give nobody to Connor Cook to give him an option, and he gets pressure, and that's the game over. Game's over. It really stung on Saturday night. But after I cooled down a little bit, I did, I saw the silver lining. And it was that I didn't have to be disappointed on Sunday because the Lions were on bye.
Oh my God. Was that the most stress-free Sunday of your entire life? First of all, Saccharin, you need to get the camera off me. Second of all, you need to engage in this conversation. Question number 1 for both of you. If that was the Ohio State Buckeyes that happened to, would they have overturned it?
No, I don't think so. I think they're looking for those guys they're trying to get them a loss as well. I think I really see that as Ohio State is kind of like Florida State last year, is they're just waiting for them to lose and waiting for them to slip up. And I really do think that there's a chance that Ohio State does they stumble somewhere.
Right. I
think the game against Michigan State is going to be tight. This might be a wake up call, and hopefully it is for the Spartans, because we still hold our own destiny in our hands. If we win out, there's still the possibility that we make it into the college football playoff. We need to have a lot of stuff go right.
Right.
But we technically still hold our destiny. All we have to do is win out. But as far as Ohio State goes, they're going to have a tough game against us, and they're going to have a really, really tough game against Michigan.
God, how were you guys up 31-20 against Nebraska and blow that game? I don't know. I don't know that they're going to beat OSU this year, but
you think the bye week hurt them, Jason? Like, do you think they came out sluggish? If they had played Nebraska without the bye, would they play better?
They didn't take them serious.
Yeah, I would go more with what Vinny said, is that they kind of, which it's not like, I mean, I guess, are they looking ahead 2 weeks to Ohio State? Because it's not like they really need to prepare for Maryland. And
Perry Hills is brutal, dude.
If they were looking over Nebraska, that was completely wrong. Because I think a lot of Spartan fans looked at that game. It's in Nebraska. It's a night game. That was going to be the trip up game if we had anything before we got to Ohio State.
Right.
The one thing that I do want to say is why are we dealing with mediocre officials?
I don't know.
Why do they get to keep their jobs?
At least you guys had mediocre officials. Can I tell you something about the Eagles and Cowboys game yesterday?
Go right
Not
ahead.
only were the Zebras biased against the Philadelphia Eagles, so was NBC. They wanted the Dallas Cowboys to win the entire damn time. And they threw 2 flags on Des Bryant at the final drive. Maxwell didn't even touch him, dude. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, are you serious? And Collinsworth and what's his testicles? Al Michaels. They all wanted Dallas to win. It was insane.
In this day and age, with replay, you'd think that they get the calls right. But when you have subjective calls, then you have to really come to the realization that there's some calls that are going to go against you. And this one went against Michigan State. They shouldn't have been in that position. They should have made the play before. And even though the touchdown happened, they had the ball with 17 seconds left. They could have ran a quick 10-yard out, get a chance to kick the field goal, yet they ran everybody deep. So really, in the end, besides the refs, Mark D'Antonio and that coaching staff got to take a lot of heat for what they did, and they blew a golden opportunity. Now, for me, it doesn't sting as much because I never really believed they were going to beat Ohio State. Never. I had them going 10-2, so I'm disappointed they lost to Nebraska because they were 3-6. It hurts their chances to get into the top 4. But in the end, I'm not disappointed. I never believed, even before the season started, they would get to the playoff. Never.
So you think college football playoff, it's completely out of the realm now.
Even if they win out, you know where they'll finish? 5th or 6th. They won't give them their respect. They won't do it.
And that's when I went into the radio station this morning and I was looking at the rankings and kind of who was playing who. Here's the question I have. So let's say that Michigan State actually does win out and then Ohio State only loses to Michigan State. Is there any possibility that that committee, if they rank Ohio State higher than Michigan State still?
Michigan? Hell no.
No, Michigan State. So Michigan State wins out.
Right.
And Ohio State, their only loss is to Michigan State.
You have to rank Michigan State higher than OSU.
But
they won't do it.
They won't do that.
So
it's your guys' it's your guys' fault. You guys didn't take Nebraska serious. You're up by 11 going into the fourth quarter, and you took your foot off their throat, and you allowed 19 points to get scored on you in the fourth quarter.
So
it was a terrible call by the referees.
So the thing is,
it's a terrible rule, but you guys. You should have took it more serious. Why are you taking the foot off the gas and allowing 19 points in the fourth quarter?
What do you think, Doc?
Fault.
Do you think that they could possibly still rank Ohio State higher than us?
Yes.
We really got to count on Michigan to do some damage and win that home game.
No, and I'm just saying, in this scenario.
In your scenario, no, I still don't believe so. I believe that when you lose to a 3-6 team, it's going to be hard to jump that many teams. It's just going to be that hard.
So even if Michigan State wins out.
So even if I blow Jake
and they end the season by beating an undefeated Ohio State, they go to the Big Ten championship and they beat an undefeated Iowa.
They just still do not get it. I think that loss was so bad.
Do you
remember that team was 3-6? They weren't playing that good.
Would Ohio State still have a chance to get in at that point?
If Ohio State loses, I find it hard to not let a Big Ten team in, because they are a big conference. But in the end, if Ohio State doesn't win it all, it's going to be tough to get a team in there. They don't have that respect. Even though last year they kind of overturned and changed some perception. Last year, everyone thought the Big Ten was terrible, but in the end, they came out. But still, there's still a bias, and I still think that if Ohio State doesn't represent, then Iowa has to go undefeated. That's it. Iowa would have to if Iowa wins the Big Ten and they're undefeated, they'll get in. But if Ohio State has a one loss with a loss to Michigan State, that's going to be super tough.
Jake Ruda.
You need to turn your mic off. Because Jake Rudock is ridiculous.
Jake Rudock's butt and Jake butt too.
Well, it was devastating. But in the end, the Big Ten came out and said today that the call was right. They handled it the right way. How do they see that play on the sideline and say that he was pushed out? It wasn't. He was playing solid defense. I thought the next day on Sunday, Indianapolis, there was a similar play. The receiver was out of bounds, and they called it. Why is it subjective? It should be a simple rule. If the receiver's out of bounds, even if he's forced out, why do you got to make it subjective? There's too many subjective rules.
They came out and they said that they made the right call. I'm not sure if
I can't stand by that.
But here's what I'm saying though: is when they ruled that play was a touchdown, there really wasn't anything else that they could call. They had to make that decision right there. If they would have said that he had stepped out and then called it a touchdown, then I think there's more controversy. But I think for the fact that they called it a touchdown and that there's nothing they could do to overturn it because they had already called it a touchdown. It's similar to the Lions Thanksgiving when Forsett was down.
Oh, don't you bring that up.
And he scores a touchdown and Jim Schwartz throws the flag before you can challenge it. It's a touchdown, but it's the whole process of stuff. And we get into this whole process, which just play the game. I'm tired of the process and having to do everything. I just want to see a football game, and I want to get the calls right.
Man, my experience was the worst. Both my phone's battery died. I was at a bar.
You're on Brazzers.
Yeah, I was not on Brazzers. I was at a bar. So Mark D'Antonio was standing there after the play, and I didn't hear any volume. Everyone was kind of silent, and we were all looking. And Mark D'Antonio was standing there with his thumb going backward. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to review it. They're going to change it. So not having my phone, not having access to Twitter, I thought, oh, okay, no problem. We're going to get this back. They called it a touchdown. I was in total shock. It was a tough pill to swallow for Michigan State. But in the end, all you can do, you still have a chance. Win out, beat Ohio State, beat Iowa, put yourself in that position, make it, unfortunately, you're going to have some things fall your way. It's not 100% in your control, but allow yourself to have that chance. Go out and redeem your season, beat Ohio State, ruin their year. But, I don't see that. I mean, Ohio State will be coming off of a bye. They're going to have another week to prepare for Michigan State in that secondary. it's going to be tough for that secondary to control Ohio State. I don't see it. I don't think they can get better in the next couple weeks. It's going to be tough, right, Vinny? Super tough. Like your Eagles.
So to talk about another disappointing football team in this great state, Detroit Lions. They had a bye week. They didn't lose. It's exciting.
You might have think they didn't lose, but they did because they signed a linebacker that I never heard of before in my life.
They bought.
Stop giving up.
We kind of gave up already. Who was that?
That was Shia LaBeouf.
I
He's
disagree.
here for you. He's telling you that.
Yes, you can.
Okay, Shia.
Can
I read this report that I have? This little piece that I printed up.
Sure. What is the report about?
It's about the Lions.
Well,
And
before you read that report, because I see what it's about,
before I read it, I might just
I think
do a
we have
cannonball out of this
to
window.
let people know what happened. If this is for the fans who are living under rocks.
Yes.
They
Inform
let
them,
go of Martin Mayhew and Tom Lawand, and it was great. After I think they listened to I think Martha Firestone Ford listened to our podcast.
I mean, why wouldn't she?
And she said that man knows what he's talking about.
Yes, I do.
And they let go of the hated ones.
You want to make love to Martha Ford's neck so bad I can see it in your eyes.
But here's where it starts to get murky. I come in on Thursday.
Is Martha Ford single?
Oh my goodness! I hope
I think
so.
she's a widow.
Oh, think she's on the market? Wait, so if I kind of put on my little Doc Charm and make my way to Allen Park, I could maybe get my way into the Lions?
I don't
No,
know.
she's gonna fire you. But anyways,
They won't fire the scouting department, but they'll fire
I
you.
come into the studio on Thursday, and I do the Fantasy Nerd Show with the Doc, and the Doc is just elated. He's so excited. He says, "Oh, the Lions, they're gonna be back next year. It's there's so much hope and so much optimism." And there's not.
Hope is back with the Lions.
Hope is not back yet.
Look at the two big candidates, Elliott Wolf and Bob Quinn.
Can I read this far?
Elliott Wolf is like 33 years old.
Hey, winning organization, Green Bay.
He's just been promoted to that position.
He has that aura. I don't care. He has that aura. If you don't want to go with Elliott Wolf, then Bob Quinn from the Patriots. I know Adam and I chatted a little bit, and he talked about it on the webcast. That,
I heard that.
It's mostly Bill Belichick. But go out there and find these executives from these winning teams.
They don't want
There
to.
is hope until they announce it. Once they announce it, they'll probably go, we believe that Sheldon White will be the next general manager.
Oh, my God.
It's good, like 30% chance.
All right, let me read this damn article.
Go for it.
For shit's sake, John. All right. Now that that's over. Kyle Mankey, is that his name?
Do it.
Okay, absolutely. He's a beat writer for MLive. And he reports. Is that Shia LaBeouf again? Oh, Shia
Do it.
Blumpkin. Bluff. Detroit Lions hire outside firm to begin search for new GM. Okay, first of all, that title. That is absolutely atrocious. And who's that gentleman that has just joined the podcast? What's his name?
Jerry Mallory.
Jerry Mallory. The guy, I watched his videos on YouTube. He absolutely glorified Martha Ford, and he's so optimistic about what they're doing. Let me tell you why he shouldn't be. No franchise, with the exception of the Detroit Lions, would ever think of something so crazy as to hire an outside firm to begin search for new GM. Remember when the Pistons, when Bill Davidson died, they hired Phil Jackson to come in to get a head coach for the Pistons during Joe Dumars' last season? Then they got Maurice Cheeks, and that was abysmal. Okay, anyway, you don't hire an outside firm. They're pretty much admitting that they're inept from head to toe, and they don't even believe in themselves to go out and hire a person. They don't even know what it takes to hire a person. They didn't fire their scouting department that's been there for 25 plus years. You need to clean house. If you're going to clean house, you need to clean house. You need to fire the entire front office. And if you need a firm to help you, you're in shambles. Anyway, the Detroit Lions.
Wait, Vinny, props to you.
Can I read this article?
You know how to read?
No.
That's great.
My God.
Oh my God, who is that?
I'm so proud of you. You know how to read?
No, I don't know.
You read the paper?
I'm not even gonna read it.
Not Hustler?
I'm not gonna read it.
Go ahead. I'm curious.
I don't want to read it.
I'm curious.
I'm pissed off. I don't want to read it. I really don't want to read it.
Okay, I'll look at it for you.
You could read it.
Okay, what's it say?
It says, suck my balls.
It says Detroit Lions have taken their first major step toward assembling their new front office. Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you think, Vinny? I want to ask you, Vinny. Are they going to make the right hire? Are they going to use this search firm to get the right guy?
It can't get any worse. I don't know. Probably
Yes.
not. No, they're not.
Yes,
No.
they are. You have to have a little bit of hope, Vinny.
No, I'm not going to.
They're going to hire the right guy.
I had another article that I was going to read about Stafford never buying into Joe Lombardi's scheme, but I'm not going to read that either.
Let's hear it.
Do you want me to read it?
I do.
Do you want me to read it?
I want to hear you read
I'm
it.
not going to read it.
We want to prove to everybody out there on Periscope Land you know how to read.
I don't know how to read. I just know how to spell. It pretty much just says that Stafford was rattled ever since Scott Linehan left, and he never bought into what's-his-balls' scheme. I didn't buy into it either. And even though Scott Linehan's offense was predictable, the gunslinger was slinging, and now he's no longer slung. In fact, he's done the complete opposite.
Jason,
John, your glasses are so offensive right now. I'm about to just walk out of the studio.
Jason, do you think they're going to hire the right guy? Are they going to hire the right guy?
Of course he's going to say yes. What do you want him to say? Do you want him to be? Do you want him to be a realistic human being, which you have been the last couple of weeks, Jarvi? I'm going to give you a round of applause. But no, absolutely, he's going to say yes. I do think they're going to make the right hire.
Well, if you listen to the Fantasy Nerds podcast, I was very even keeled because
I was too busy watching the Fantasy Purrs podcast,
and you were watching Brazzers.
XNXX.
But no, This is only the first step. Firing Martin Mayhew and Tom Lawan, it's one part of the biggest problem in sports. It's not going to be until the season's over, but you're not going to see anything until everyone really needs to go. Jim Caldwell, Terrell Austin, Jim Bob Cooter.
That name alone, he shouldn't be in the NFL.
Pretty much everybody needs to go from this team, and they need to restart over. And I'm not gonna say that this firm is. I think it's gonna help them because I think either way, if it wasn't this firm, the NFL has its own committee to help organizations find the up and coming people to bring into your organization. So whether it's one party or another party to help us
get
out.
Fucking flunkies. I can't even talk about it. They're flunkies. The whole organization.
But they're trying to change.
I
the
don't
perception.
give a shit. They're flunkies.
Martha Ford's only been in charge for a couple years. Give her a break. I know she was married to the old guy, but William Clay Ford didn't know what he was doing. He was too loyal. She came in and cleaned house. It's not the same.
She didn't clean house. The scouting department's still in there, and the entire front office is still intact.
You know how much unemployment they'd have to pay if they fired everybody? That's a lot of unemployment.
Let the old gridiron pay it. Take it out of his salary.
I believe they're going to get the right guy. I have the hope again.
You don't really believe that. You're just saying
now I'm going to watch the second half of the year wondering if it's going to be a big train wreck. Green Bay's coming off of a loss. They're going to roll over the Lions. It's going to be great.
Oh, my God.
As a roundabout way of saying before you interrupted me, I'm going to give them a chance to, whoever they bring in, as long as it's not promoting from within, I'm going to give them a chance. They at least deserve that. But I don't believe that it's going to happen right away. I think it's going to be at least 2 to 3 years. And then I stick by this as what I said before, is there's only one guy that you can bring into the Lions right now that that I will honestly say that next year they'll be right back at it. And that's Jim Harbaugh. Martha Firestone Ford has to go down to Ann Arbor.
Dude, the guy's going to be in Ann Arbor the rest of his life.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the only person that the Lions could conceivably bring in where they're going to be back next year. Otherwise, it's going to be 2 to 3 years. We're going to have to suffer through some of this. And that's where I think some of the fans, where they're just super excited about this move, is when it comes to next year and we're not where people expect
They're
this.
not going to be.
And that's what I'm saying. People are going to be upset next year, and then we're going to be in the same position. We need to give them at least 2 to 3 years to rebuild this.
Do you not... Look,
so you're going to tell me to sell the team, right?
No, come on. Of course I want you to sell the team, but you're not going to. Wouldn't you fire the scouting department? I mean, come on. You cannot draft and when
year.
I understand.
Why can't they finish out? Okay. And
because Lawan and Mayu didn't finish up. Yeah, okay, I'll let them finish out the rest of the year. They're not going to fire those guys. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Jason.
Well,
they cannot develop these guys into professional athletes, and they don't know how to draft for shit.
I think by the end of the year, yes, everybody should be gone. If they're not gone, then
the problems are still going to linger.
Yes.
No matter who the firm brings in.
You can't have anybody on this team. I don't even want Terrell Austin. As good as a prospect as he was last year, I think he lost all credibility.
Absolutely.
So I think we need to get all this negativity out of the room. I think I might shut down the soundboard, but we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I think let's talk some Pistons.
Dude, can we please talk Pistons? Oh, we're going to talk about Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond soon to come back. Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Doc here for FanaticU.com. Speaking of the Pistons, FanaticU.com has a wide selection of Pistons items, fellas. If you're a big fan now of Andre Drummond and he's dropping 20-20 every single game, go visit FanaticU.com. And if you shop online at FanaticU.com, use the promo code DSP. That's promo code DSP at checkout, and you'll save 15% off anything at all that you order. Anything at all, 24/7. Support the Pistons, support the Wings, support the Lions if you have to. Support the Tigers. Visit FanaticU.com. It's that holiday season. Jason, have you gotten your Christmas shopping started yet?
Dude, no way.
Well, Vinny, I know you're a go-getter and you do things early. Visit FanaticU.com. Get that mess out of the way. Save some money. Don't pay full price. Use the promo code DSP. That's DSP for Detroit Sports Podcast. Promo code DSP. Save 15% off your entire order. FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports official outfitter. And now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant on the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast. Jason the King Jarvi, the Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons are the bright spot in Detroit sports right now.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. You know, last year they were 5-23 to start the season.
Yes, they were.
And that's kind of the approach that I do want to take about the Pistons is I think it's awesome that they're 5-1 right now.
Oh, dude.
And they're looking pretty solid. They're number 3 in the East. I know the power rankings came out, and I want to say they were number 5. So everybody's on board the Pistons right now. I think you're gonna see somewhere in the middle though. I still feel like they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I do think we're gonna see a drop off at some point.
Absolutely.
But they've been solid so far.
They're shocking me. They're shocking me. That's all I can really say. They're third in the Eastern Conference, like you said, and the team that's in first place is Atlanta. And guess who beat them? Us and no one
Detroit
else.
Pistons, they're the only team.
Yeah, and that was well, I want to say week 1 because the NFL, but it was game 1, and it's beautiful. Dude, Reggie Jackson, he's scoring a lot. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope playing great on the road. They're spreading the ball around. They look like a complete team. Marcus Morris is averaging 17 points a game.
And
Andre Drummond is about to get blown by me. Averaging a double-double.
He's pretty much he's at a level where I think, you know, you don't see it too often. You know, Dwight Howard is when he was in his prime. I think that's where they're comparing him. And Andre Drummond is still, you know, how old is he right now?
I think he's 21.
He's
22.
22 years old. This guy has his entire career. I mean, obviously, he has played a couple of seasons because I think he came into the league at 18, but it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's played great, man. When you're averaging 20-20 and you're the offensive player 2 weeks in a row, that's something to say, man. Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, he's in a rare group right now. In the first 6 games, he had his third 2020 game. There's only 2 other players who have done that in the history of basketball.
You go ahead and name them.
One is Wilt Chamberlain. I'm not sure if you know him.
What?
And the other is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And those are 2 of probably the best. I think in top 5 NBA players of all time, those 2 have to be in that top 5.
Oh my God, I did not know that. Where did you get that stat at?
That was on just MLive.
Oh my goodness
But
gracious.
I think
It's promising. I mean, when you have now, what did we say before the season? What do the Pistons need? A superstar. If this guy can be a superstar and this guy can be a guy that can contribute double-doubles every night and can be a dominating force, his birthday, Vinny, for you, August 10th, 1993, 22.
Wow.
So if he can be a contributing force, then he can be that guy that we need, we can call upon, and he's going to earn big money. 5 years, 120. He's staring right in the face. Just stay injury-free.
Dude, how is 1993 mean you're 22 years old? Can I kill myself right now and get it over with?
Let's do the math.
baby, man.
Yeah, 22.
93.
Imagine.
And by the way, they have 2 superstars. Reggie
Yeah.
Jackson's emerging as a superstar as well.
You think he's a superstar, bona fide? Or is it...
No, not bona fide, but come on. Look what he did yesterday. He put up 26 points in the 4th quarter.
You're also the same person who said Vernon Davis is a Hall of Famer.
Bro, can I take that back, please?
No catches?
This is what I meant to say.
Or no
I
numbers?
said he has Hall of Fame type potential.
Just like Matt
Potentially
Stafford.
has.
Matt Stafford has Hall of Fame potential as well.
Essentially. Oh, well, I tried. Well, come on, man. Listen, I messed up. That was my Martin Mayhew moment. I didn't mean anything by it. I meant to say that he had potential to be a Hall of Famer. But Colin Kaepernick is not a very good human being, and they got rid of Jim Harbaugh, so we're going to see.
But so where do you really think the Pistons are? They started 5. They're 5-1.
They're 5-1.
Where do you think in the next 20 games? They have a really a tough rest of this West Coast swing.
Yes.
They have Golden State. They still have San Antonio. I know the Lakers are garbage, but they got to play the Clippers. They're okay. So where do you see them? Let's go in 20 games in. So they're 5-1 in the next.
I don't know. I got to see the bottom
games.
half of their schedule. Bring that up real quick.
I'll bring it up. So, but 14 games before you even look at the schedule. What do you think that they might be, or where they could be?
Probably about 500. I think they're going to finish the season 500.
Still?
So 500,
yes,
they would have to go 9, or they'd lose 9 of their next 14 games.
I literally have to look at their schedule because I don't know how many Western Conference teams are playing. I know the East is wide open. I didn't think they would start off the season 5-1, and I had them going 39-43. They look extravagant. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. They look really good. Stan Van Gundy, it only took them 1 season to put that together.
So they go Golden State,
Loss.
Sacramento,
Win.
Clippers,
Loss.
Lakers,
W, dude.
and then they finally come home. They got Cleveland,
Loss.
Minnesota, Washington, Milwaukee, Miami, OKC, Brooklyn, Houston, and that finishes out in November.
Wow. How many games is that?
I think it's right around 20. But I think
they could finish. Wow, they could finish a season above 500, huh?
I would if I had to put my guess on it. I would probably say that probably they have about 13, 14 wins going
out of 20. That's being a little generous
going into November. So they have
so you got them.
They have 5 wins right now. I think they beat Sacramento. I think they beat the Lakers, Minnesota, Washington, Milwaukee, Miami, Brooklyn, Houston.
Ooh, you're being a little generous.
8 games. Yeah, that's 12 wins essentially.
I don't know if they could beat Washington or Brooklyn. We're gonna have to see
I think
about that.
Brooklyn isn't that good.
No,
I'm not a huge fan. Washington is another story. I know they got John Wall and Bradley Beal, and they're another up and coming. But and I know you probably didn't know this before, but Brooklyn is 0-7 right now.
are they really?
They are.
Philadelphia's 0-6. I know that. But who can blame them? They're the worst franchise in any sport besides your Detroit Lions. Forward down the field.
So, Doc, what do you think going into November? What do you think they'll be closer to 500? They're going to be over 500?
No, I think after 20 games, they should be around 13-7. They're playing very well. And what you guys are missing too is, they have a chance against a team like OKC against the Clippers. What you're seeing now is a team that believes that they're strong, a team that has that hope and bond that, hey, even if we're out of a game, look at that game versus Portland. Did you think they were going to play strong at Portland? They're never out of it. So when you have a team that plays that well and they play that strong, then I have confidence that they can go into most games and get a W. So I don't think that they're going to have too many long losing streaks as long as everybody stays healthy. I'm a little bit concerned about Jody Meeks because of his, the loss of the outside shooting.
Dude,
but I'm confident
every year.
I'm confident these Pistons are going to play well. They haven't given me a reason to doubt them yet. They're playing good, and it's fun. It's fun to see, and hopefully the Palace can get rocking again.
Am I wrong for not really worrying about the Jody Meeks injury? Because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna miss him a ton," But
if you watch the games, though, Jason, when they go off, they can become inconsistent. That's what this Stan Van Gundy team needs is a little bit more, 1 or 2 more guys that can shoot consistently. They're playing strong. They're playing strong fundamentally. But remember, the 3-point numbers aren't exactly where they need to be. All the guys aren't exactly shooting with great percentages, but they're doing enough to win games. They can shoot better.
I think we can wait, though, until we can at least until Jody Meeks comes back. Because I feel like this team is focused around Andre Drummond, and it's about feeding him the ball, and it's like what the Magic did with Dwight Howard and what Stan did when he was in Orlando. Reggie Jackson is good enough. Marcus Morris, Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Ersan Ilyasova right now he's the second in 3-point shooting right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the loss of Jody Meeks as that bad. I think we'll be able to outlast until he comes back. And I think by the time he comes back, we'll probably be seeing Brandon Jennings back too.
Yeah, can we say a prayer for his ACL? Jesus Christ.
Dude, that injury, it takes you a full year to come back from.
Yeah.
What did he injure it back in February?
Mm-hmm.
So, and
When he comes back, it'll be a nice addition to the second unit because the starters are fine. If you're going to start nitpicking the Pistons, their problem is off the bench. Versus Phoenix, I don't think they played that well. Tolliver needs to play better. Blake needs to play better. They're counting on Jennings and Stanley Johnson to come in and be more consistent. So, there's the good thing is we're 5-1 with room for improvement. That's all you can ask for.
And I think that will be really huge because, as you said, that the bench is a big issue. And I know they were talking about possibly putting Marcus Morris on the bench just so we have more of a spark coming off on that second unit. That he wouldn't probably lose out on his minutes, but you at least have somebody coming off the bench who can give you some of that offense. Because right now, Stanley Johnson hasn't lived up. He's a rookie. He still needs to improve. I still think that he's going to be a good player in the NBA. He needs time to adjust. And Brandon Jennings coming back, when he does get healthy, when Jody Meeks is healthy, we're gonna have some depth. Because you're gonna start Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond, Marcus Morris, Caldwell Pope, and Ilyasova, and you're gonna have Jody Meeks, Stanley Johnson, and Brandon Jennings coming off the bench. It's gonna be pretty solid.
I agree. Hold on a second. I'm looking up Justice Winslow's numbers compared to Stanley Johnson's.
Justice Winslow from the Heat.
I guess I'm reading articles where you're saying he's already elite in defense.
I'm not worried about
7.1 points per game.
Yeah. Well, can we at least put to rest or maybe start to say that, hey, we were a little bit too hard on Joe D because KCP has come along again, though.
No,
still
that's the only thing he did right.
He did.
Besides Andre Drummond and his wiener.
A lot of people talked about KCP versus Trey Burke, and now KCP is a contributor, a guy that we count on, and Joe was right.
I agree. So right now, Stanley Johnson averages 18 minutes a game. He's getting 5 points a game with 3 rebounds.
So Winslow's 2 points better. So
3 rebounds.
They both suck.
And Justice Winslow is averaging 28 minutes, so he's averaging 10 more minutes.
Right.
And he's only got 2 more points a game with 5 rebounds.
Right.
So I would really say that they're even. I'm not sold on Justice Winslow. He's not their start. I don't think he's starting.
Yeah, I thought Stanley Johnson would have more of an impact than that. It's only 6 games, but Jesus Christ, 5.5 points per game.
I really don't.
Early.
I'm not going to calm down.
Still early.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't calm down.
It's still early.
There's not a whole lot of players who can really just come in and dominate.
Darko Milicic could.
Oh yeah, totally. I don't think we look at the NBA draft. LeBron James, I think he's the exception. Those superstars when they come in, those guys are exceptions. They aren't the norm.
I haven't checked out LeBron James's hairline this year. I wonder if it's receded even more.
He's obviously has an issue with shirt sleeves.
I hate you, LeBron James. I just want you to know that.
And I do want the Pistons to do good. I want them to win. But there is the part of me, I want the Cavaliers to go back to the finals, and I want them to lose again.
Wouldn't that be tremendous?
He would be 2-5 in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and then maybe Dan Gilbert can sell the Cavaliers and buy the Lions.
I would love that.
I would totally go to Quicken Loans.
I take that back.
Look around.
I'm so torn just because of my.
I'm just torn in general. The firm and Quicken Loans and Dan Gilbert's wrinkly penis.
Listen,
Saccharoon's voice.
I know. I guess some people are talking. The Lions lost a little bit of money last year, like lost 2 or 3 million last year. But the organization is making money. They're profitable, and the organization is worth over $1 billion. Why would they sell? I don't understand that talk. We talk about it, but the NFL makes money. Why would you sell it? I guess
they're not going to.
I guess if Gilbert comes in with a $2.5 billion offer, they would maybe think about it, but it's a cash cow, and they don't have to produce to get it.
Forget I even brung it up. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I was just dreaming for 5 seconds.
Unless it bottoms out for the Lions, why would you sell?
How many times is it going to bottom out before you say it's going to bottom out? What are you talking about? It's bottomed out twice.
And they're selling out, and they're getting 60,000 people every game. More, even. I know some people aren't going to the games.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I think I said that they lost maybe $3 million last year in terms of overall, operating costs and all this nonsense, but still, when you buy the organization for $4 million, it's now worth $1 billion plus, and it made more, overall the franchise went up to it's worth $1.4 billion.
They literally just fired Luan and Mayhew to bring more people to the games, and then they go, "Well, Big Sean's going to be playing this thing." I'm like, "Oh, great, another talentless piece of shit playing in the Dome on Sunday, Thursday." Let me take that back,
man. But get back to the Pistons, you guys. You guys think this team can now have higher aspirations, maybe win a playoff round or two?
I don't know, man. Only time
Should
will
we
tell.
temper our expectations a little bit?
Yes,
Or no?
Yes.
I think that's the smart route to go. If we want to be crazy fans like you are with the Lions, then you do say that the Pistons are going to go and they're going to win a playoff series and they could compete with the Cavaliers. But no, I think I think we may be able to say that they're going to finish a little bit higher in the playoffs. Maybe they're not sneaking in at 8 and 7. Maybe they get in at like a 6 or 5.
Or maybe, just maybe, if Stan Van sees that this team has the potential to maybe do something special, maybe we become buyers, real buyers, and add that one last shooter or one last experienced veteran to take us over the top. You never know. Remember Rasheed Wallace?
I think,
Dude, we're really
There's no one out there
we're
that I
really
know about,
far
but-
from that. Stop it.
I think we need to go to break, and I'm going to look up who the free agents are this year that we might actually look at.
We're only
to buy.
5-1, man. You guys are getting way too carried away. Before we go to break, you know how I know we're sick right now? Because we're talking about the Pistons, and it's still translated into us talking about the Detroit Lions. Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Thanks, everybody, for your continued support. Without your support and those of you who are visiting DetroitSportsPodcast.com, we can't continue to keep the mics hot, can't continue to keep the office lights on. So thank you so much for everybody that's been supporting us. Visit our website. The free and easy way to support us, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. It's where you can go to download all the podcasts, learn about the team, learn about the backgrounds of Jason Jarvi, Vinny Stubbs, Vito Churko, Adam Strozinski, our newest host, Jerry Mallory. Check out the crew at the Detroit Sports Podcast. Visit our website. Free and easy way to support us. All you got to do is visit the website, download some podcasts, click through the Amazon banner if you're going to do some online shopping. That's all you got to do. Help keep the podcast growing. Last week was the first week we were able to put out 7 shows. 7 every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday. And when the Lions news broke, we were here doing a podcast and reacting. Jason and I did the Fantasy Nerds podcast. So check us out, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Free and easy way to support us, help keep the project growing, and we greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Before we get into length of
God, you
girth
guys
or
are
the
just
picks,
not going to get it.
I'm looking at the free agents for next year, and I'm kind of thinking outside the box as of what teams might be trying to unload players just to get some cap space. So if the Pistons were looking to be buyers,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
there's
about.
a lot of the top guys. They're not going to trade for. You're not going to trade for Kevin Durant. You're not going to trade for LeBron James. Those are the top free agents going into next year. I'm going on the list. The first name that pops out, Al Horford from Atlanta, power forward. It's not really a need that we have right now, but he does score some points. The one guy that really sticks out and I think could make a difference on the team would be DeMar DeRozan from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
He's a shooting guard, averaging 21 points a game. He's been underpaid the past 2 seasons for Toronto, and
Are you talking about through the bid season who they're going to trade?
that's I'm thinking I'm being crazy.
I know,
I'm saying that the Pistons are looking to actually compete for a title.
I get that, but the problem is that Toronto is really relevant, and they're going to be better than the Pistons.
Well, let's just say that the Toronto bottoms out, because right now, what are the standings? Right now,
they're 4th in the East.
They're
They're 4th in the East.
the Pistons.
No, Toronto.
Toronto, yeah, they're 4th in the East. So let's say the Toronto, they actually bottom out, and they're looking to clear up some space. I don't really see it happening because I think DeRozan's probably he's a superstar.
Dude, you have a better chance of turning into a Raptor than the Raptors actually trading to the Pistons.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind being a
whatever
Raptor.
his
That'd
name
be kind of cool.
is. Me too.
Harrison Barnes is another guy.
Oh my God, where's he at? Golden State?
Harrison Barnes, yes. Then they're probably not going to let him go.
No, absolutely not. Remember when we were really stoned that one day, even though we weren't really high? I'm just saying we were. We thought that the Pistons were going to somehow get Draymond Green, and it never happened. Length or girth?
Yeah, it was possible. Would we ever want to try out Lance Stevenson?
Absolutely not. He's done.
Yeah, he seems like a joke.
He once was not a joke, but now everything has become jokish in his life. And I wouldn't touch Lance Stevenson with macaroon's penis.
So outside of those guys, I really don't see the Lions The Pistons being fired.
You guys
it does all go back to
sicker
the
than
Lions.
cancer patients.
Let's go to our best segment.
All right, it's that time for Lang the Girth. Question number 1 on length or girth. Oh, I hate to break it down to you, gentlemen, but you're Spartans. Oh my goodness gracious, Connor Cook, 4 TDs. Holmes, 117 yards rushing and a TD. Burbridge and Kings combined for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Still come up short and lose to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the 4-6, newly acquired for the Big Ten Nebraska Cornhuskers. Length or girth? Jason the King Jarvi, Michigan State's hangover. Length or girth?
It's going to be Girth. They're going to come out. They play Maryland this weekend, right? They're going to destroy Maryland.
Absolutely, I think
it's Connor Cook. He's pissed. He's going to come out, and I think they're going to put at least 40 up on him.
I agree. He's going to be cooking Maryland. They're 2-7, and Perry Hills is absolutely brutal. I agree. Girth, don't worry about it, but you guys got to take care of business, man, against OSU, which you probably won't. But still, Girth. Question number 2. I've been reading a lot of articles on your boy, Jonathan Matthew Stafford, and his tenure with Detroit might be coming to a close. Question number 2, Jason the King Jarvi. Matthew Stafford in Detroit, length or girth?
I'm probably going to go length here because I think he has, unless we go true and we're really going to just blow this thing up, then it's going to be length, because what I would really like to see, I'd like to, you keep Stafford, but you draft a quarterback. You bring in somebody to compete with him. I think you use a 3rd or 4th round pick, and you bring in a quarterback from like USC, like Cody Kessler, or one of the other 10 quarterbacks that are going to be out there. Mm-hmm. I want to see somebody compete. I wouldn't even mind bringing in the kid from TCU, Trevon Boykin, just because he's something different.
Right. I want to go Girth, dude. I think this is his last year here. He's deflated. You see it on his face. He's been benched twice. He's going to go through his 3rd offensive coordinator next year if he stays. It's kind of been in your face from day one that they're going to actually trade him to Dallas for a 2nd-round draft pick. It's going to happen, especially if the firm's serious, which I don't think it is. But if the firm is serious, Girth, if they're the Detroit Lions, he'll be here for another 2 years until his contract's up. But for right now, I'm going to say Girth. I think he's deflated. I think he needs a new fresh start. So I'm going to go Girth. Question number 3. Dude, Jake Rudock. If I seen him right now, I'd probably take off his jockstrap if he was wearing one and slap him across the butt. He did a really good job. Not Jake Butt, his rear end. Question number 3. Jake Rudock throwing for over 150 yards.
Girth.
I know.
You're ridiculous.
I'm
Jake
ridiculous.
Rudock, come on.
Can I get a Ginyu drop?
I don't
Thank
have
you. I'm gonna go Girth too. I think that career high, he was playing a absolutely brutal team in Rutgers, and everything that he did that day was tremendous. But come on, let's be honest, they're playing Rutgers.
It's kind of shocking Jake Rudock made length or girth. My
Absolutely.
goodness.
He's got
He's
both.
terrible.
You guys have both, and I have neither.
He's terrible.
Vinny Stubbs. Dude, will I ever get laid again?
Never.
I don't think so. Been on Brazzers. I've been really active on there. Just forget the Ginyu. Wow. That'll do it for length or girth. Okay, gentlemen, it's that time.
Time to praise the Doc and his great start to the picks.
Oh my God. Ever
Tell
since
me.
I started tailing him up, it's true. Doc's the best. And Jarvi's in between.
What's my record again,
Like he
Vinny?
always is.
What's my record?
And I'm the bottom feeder. I'm the Detroit Lions of this podcast. Macaroon's 8-1, Jarvi's 5-4, and I'm 3-6.
Wait, say that again. Say it.
You're
a little
8-1.
Say it a little slower. A little more sexy.
Yes.
Say a little bit more sexy. Doc's 8-1.
The NFL Picks Week 10 brought to you by Brazzers.com. And now, Vinny Stubbs. All right. Thank you, radio guy that I never met before. Game 1 in Week 10. The Tony Romo lists 0-6 in the last 6 games. Dallas Cowboys travel to Tampa Bay to take on Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dallas favored by 1 with the over-under at 43. Jason the King and Jarvi.
Give me Dallas because I think they're gonna win. And give me the under here.
Saccharoon.
Give me Dallas. I think 6 losses in a row, quite much. Tampa Bay is struggling. I know that they're playing a little bit better football, but at home, I think I read the stat that they're 1-11 right now under the new tenure of their head coach. That's pretty bad.
All right, 43.
43. I'm going over. Ooh. Dallas and the over.
Let me see here. They're playing in Tampa Bay. Tony Romo's not playing. They're really starting to buy into that scheme in Tampa Bay. I'm just kidding. Or am I? I would say Tampa Bay. I think Dallas is inept. And
Lovie Smith's going to be on the hot seat, man. That schedule. They've won 3 games this year, but I don't know. They're not playing good at home at all.
Right. Well, he's Lovie Smith, and you got to love Smith and give him a little bit more time. I want to go ahead and take Tampa, and I'm going to take the over. And I'm probably wrong. Game number 2. Dude, Jay Cutler, come on, do something. I know you got diabetes, but that's no excuse. He goes to the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis to play Nick Foles and the St. Louis Rams, who are favored by 9. Oh my God, with the over-under, at 41.5, Jason the King Jarvi.
That spread is too high.
That's ridiculous.
Although, when they put that spread up that much, Vegas seems to know something. I'm gonna go with St. Louis, and give me the over on that.
And remember, Chicago's playing on Monday night. Typically, teams that play on Monday night have a hard time, but 9's a lot of points, so give me Chicago and the over. Chicago plus 9 and the over.
Beautiful. I agree. All right. Game number 3. Ryan Tannehill gets his hiney tanned and gets a tan hide as he goes to the Lincoln Financial Field, where Sam Bradford, even though he's missing a chromosome, found an arm and found a way to deliver the ball to Jordan Matthews at the end of the game as he was battling the refs and NBC. The Dolphins travel to Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, favored by 5.5, over under at 46. King.
Give me Miami and give me the under.
Hate your guts.
Sorry about that.
Saccharoon.
Miami and the under. I agree with Jarvi.
Listen. I want to take Miami, but they're going to lose. So Philadelphia, I like them by 2 points. So I'll take Miami, and I will go over. All right, game number 4. Dude, this is going to be a really good game. Teddy Bridgewater travels to the black hole in Oakland.
Is he traveling? I know he has a concussion.
No, they said that he has passed the protocol, that he has some type. I know that hit looked vicious, but he's been doing okay. I don't think he's going to miss the game with concussion.
He's going to play. All right.
I think he's going to play.
The black version of Rocky Dennis travels to Oakland to take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Oakland favored by 2.5, over under 42.5, King.
I like Oakland, and give me that over. That offense, they've got it clicking with Crabtree and Amari Cooper.
It was clicking to
and
the end
all
of the
their
game,
other receivers. They seem to just throw it to whichever receiver that they have.
Derek Carr is going to be saving me in fantasy because Big Ben went out again. Derek Carr, I like him. A lot of people talked about to us on our Twitter page about whether he's better than Stafford. Right now, he's a top 10 quarterback. Stafford's nowhere near that. So give me Oakland and the over. I like Derek Carr. Maybe the next big thing. Derek Carr.
Stafford is the top 32 quarterback. Since you guys are both taking Oakland and the over, I got to go Minnesota. And
why? Why don't you go with the guys who are
Because
right?
my record's in shambles, and I got
So
to
you're
try
trying
to
to
do
make up
here.
something?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
See what Vinny Stubbs is doing? Game of the week. Brought to you by Crickets. Dude, Matt Stafford in the worst offensive line that I've ever seen in my entire life. Even worse than the Eagles and the 08 Lions. And why did we take back Manuel Ramirez, and why is Dan Orlovsky even breathing oxygen at this point? They go to Lambeau, where the Packers are favored by 11. Over, under at 48. Toilet bowl. Jason the King Jarvi.
Give me Green Bay to just destroy the
They're
Lions.
so pissed, aren't they?
They almost beat Carolina this week, and I really think they should have. But if it wasn't for Luke Kuechly making, or whoever made that interception in the end,
That black dude, I don't know his name. His last name's Davis. That's all I know.
outside of that, they should have won that game. I think they're gonna. It's
Really?
gonna be it's in Green Bay. The Lions haven't won there since '91. They're not going to win this week. So give me Green Bay. Give me the over because they're going to put up a 50 burger on us. It's going to be embarrassing.
You got to get off your phone, dude.
I can't. I love it. Look at the news. Look, I can't. I'm addicted to Twitter. I'm going to announce it. I'm
You're
going to
addicted
Twitter.
to a lot of things.
But someone tweeted me at the Freep Twitter page, Martha Ford addresses the Lions, says the team better start winning. She laid the smack down. Change my pick. Mrs. Ford spoke. They will listen.
I'm literally not playing this.
They spoke. She spoke and she addressed the team, and they're gonna rally. They're gonna lose by 7. So give me the 11 and the over. That's it. Mrs. Ford addressed the team. Look at this. Martha Ford addresses #Lions, says the team better start winning.
You're a liar. Did she really?
She did. She's the boss. When Mrs. Ford speak, we all listen.
When any miss talks to me, I completely ignore it. I'm going to go ahead and take Green Bay in the over. That'll pretty much do it for the Week 10 picks.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
You sound like Shia LaBeouf right now.
Dude, imagine
it!
Imagine if Mrs. Ford's like the next, Vince Lombardi.
Imagine if I go 0-5.
Come true!
And she's like this massive, this great leader, and she just comes out there and is like, you guys better win. Or I can't believe it. I can't believe says the team better start winning. I like that. A little bit of fire.
You are ridiculous.
I thought you guys would be a little bit more pissed off about the Spartans losing than this. You guys really,
Vinny, you got to listen to the podcast before. I told Adam 10-2. I thought they'd lose to Oregon and Ohio State.
Okay.
I have to cut that one out. But anyway,
why do I got your patient's paperwork in my hand?
Yeah, don't grab that.
Dude, I need it. Can I come visit you for a session?
What would you talk about? Man, you seem like you had a great weekend. That lady that you had on your Facebook was, damn, she was good looking.
Yeah, it's not like she was a waitress anywhere.
Oh, no, not at all. She's got a boyfriend. I was very frustrated.
I have a question. Why do you tell people to write Vinny sucks? You don't suck. You're pretty good.
I'm terrible, and I want everyone to acknowledge it.
Because you think it's funny.
Vinny's podcast. You should put Detroit Sports Podcast or Vinny's great. Vinny sucks. Well, I was like, oh.
I like putting myself down. It's fun.
You should put Vinny sucks, but Detroit Sports Podcast is good.
I was too drunk to write all that. Next time I'll just put Vinny Stubbs sucks. Humongous sized testicles. Is that better?
Yeah.
Sure.
I need to start being more optimistic, huh?
Should be.
I don't know why.
The Lions might cover.
They might cover.
No, they're not. They're going to get trounced.
Oh my
they're
God.
in Green Bay.
I would have covered my head
Aaron
under
Rodgers
a pillow.
is going to throw. I take it back. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then Scott Tolzien's going to come in and throw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Watch your language. Oh my God! Can you imagine if Tolzien comes in and torches the Lions like what Matt Flynn? Oh my God!
Brett Hundley might even see some time.
Oh my goodness gracious! What are you guys doing the rest of the day? Who's playing? Chicago and San Diego? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I think I'm 4-1 this week in fantasy football.
Yep.
I think that'll do it for this episode of the Motor City Sports Rant.
I'm Vinny Stubbs. That's John Macaroon and
Jason Jarvi.
Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com.
Okay, nice idiot. F you. Bye-bye.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.